Okay, hello, Allison and Jodi. How are you?
Hello, good. How are you?
Hello.
First off, who is who?
I'm Allison.
I'm Jodi.
Okay, all right, now that we have that settled. Thank you for coming on the show. It's nice to have you here.
Thanks for
And
having us.
I appreciate it.
we're going to be talking about puzzles today. Today is, well, tomorrow actually is it National Puzzle Day tomorrow?
That's right.
Okay. And you were the founder of that, Jodi?
Yeah, I founded Puzzle Day over 30 years ago.
Okay, why?
Well, I love puzzles. Puzzles are loved by everyone. There's so much joy that comes in with puzzles, but puzzles for me are extra special. When I was younger, I didn't have any friends. And so for me, it was a way to start friendships. So I had a puzzle sheet that I had created, and I would ask people if they'd be interested in playing it. And over time, what I found is a lot of people like puzzles. And this puzzle sheet that I put out for classrooms and teachers and students, the first year didn't do very much, but the second year, we were blown over in response. So people would send us a self-addressed stamped envelope, and then I would send them the puzzle sheet that I made for them. And I started accumulating a lot of puzzle friends, which was super duper. And it was one of those things where over time, because we had so much response, we had to pick one day a year that would be special for Puzzle Day, because I couldn't keep doing this because we were getting thousands, like 10, 20,000 responses. And I decided on picking it on my special day, which is January 29th. And my special day is, of course, my birthday. And it's a really great way to share my love of the puzzles with the world. And they also get to smile on this day. And last year, we had like 17 million people play puzzles on one day. How could you possibly not have people smiling on that? So it's been fun, and it's also fun that Highlights is now involved in this whole wonderful thing.
And it's your birthday?
It is on the 29th, yes.
Okay. Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I do remember Highlights magazine, and I also remember Weekly Reader was another one. They're not related at all, right? Are they connected in any way?
No, they're not related, no.
Okay, but they've been around for forever.
Yeah, so Highlights is entering its 80th year. We've been around a long time. I think the best thing about Highlights is how we've been able to evolve with the times and stay fresh. And we hear from our readers, they write to us. We get like 30,000 letters a year, and they tell us what they want from us, what they're into, and that's what keeps Highlights fresh, I think.
Well, what's the primary content of Highlights? It's been too long. I don't really remember.
So the magazine, and nowadays Highlights is a lot more than just the magazine. The magazine is general interest. We've got nonfiction stories and fiction stories, and of course, lots and lots of puzzles. You might remember the Hidden Pictures puzzle, the one we're kind of famous for, that's still going strong. It's the black and white scene with little objects hidden throughout, or Find the Differences is another big one. So there's Highlights magazine, and then we've got lots and lots of puzzle books and other kinds of books and activity kits. There's even backpacks. So Highlights, we've got a lot going on right now.
Highlights is primarily geared for kids, right?
That's right, yes. So Highlights magazine is for ages 6 to 12-ish. We do have offerings for other magazines for younger kids and other puzzle books for all age groups.
Can you define what constitutes a puzzle? Because I think when people hear the word puzzle, they think of a jigsaw. But there's a lot more than just that, right?
Well, definitely. I mean, jigsaw is the most popular, with over 80% of our population either playing a jigsaw puzzle right now or almost, or just finishing a jigsaw puzzle. So that's one of the many puzzles. But when you think about a puzzle is somewhat of a challenge to yourself that you work on and you focus and you use your brain for. It's a little different than games, because games sometimes pick up other people and you do other things, but it's based on the premise that it's you, whatever the task is in front of you, and only you.
How do you compare traditional puzzles like Scrabble or, the Find the Hidden Pictures or something like that? How do you compare that to video games, which seem to be what most kids play?
They're both
these
great,
days?
of course. I think there is kind of a craving for analog activities and screen-free activities, especially with parents. They're looking for a break from the screens. And honestly, puzzles are more easily done, I think, with a pencil and paper than they are online. It's very hard to trace a maze path online, for example. So, you know, both great, but we have a special place in our hearts for the more tactile experience of a jigsaw puzzle or a pencil and paper puzzle. And people are still clamoring for that kind of thing.
Well, according to your sheet, it says that puzzles use both sides of the brain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, would video games do the same thing? Because there have been, like, I've never heard anybody say that Scrabble was somehow detrimental to children's upbringing. Okay, but we've heard the video game argument about the too violent, the line between reality and fantasy is getting blurred, and you have these kids with the school shootings, and I mean all kinds of terrible things. You don't hear that about puzzles, traditional puzzles.
No, you don't hear that about puzzles, yeah.
So my question is the fact that it's on a screen and you're not touching something or writing something, is it a different brain function that's happening, that's occurring?
Yeah, I think what we know about puzzles and brain function is that they can help boost your memory. They can help improve your focus. With kids, we find that they really improve their confidence and their willingness to take on a challenge. So, you know, it's fun to take on a puzzle challenge. It kind of convinces you that it's fun to use your brain and challenge your brain a little bit because it's so satisfying to solve a puzzle. So I'm sure with video games, it totally depends on the type of video game, but that's what we know about puzzles and the boosting of your brain.
What's the difference between a puzzle and a board game?
Well, a board game usually has individual pieces. A puzzle, except for perhaps a jigsaw puzzle, would not have individual pieces. It's also about the conceptual way that they put the puzzle or the board game together. And there's pretty much a blurred line in some levels of different games and puzzles. But pretty much people use one term or the other, and then they just stick with it.
Yeah, like Scrabble, for example, is kind of a backwards crossword puzzle.
Right. So
you know,
it could be a board game or it could be a puzzle.
Yeah.
I've always thought of Scrabble as sort of a backwards crossword puzzle. And, you know, I love doing them when I have the chance to do them. Some of them are absolutely impossible. What's the most difficult one? Is it the London Times or the New York Times?
Oh, I think the New York Times is the most challenging for me personally.
What is your favorite puzzle to do?
I would have to say that I've stuck with the oldie but goodie word search. I started with them, I make them professionally, and I just love them because I love the idea that you have a theme, and within that theme you have words that connect to that, and then of course you take those words and you find them in your letter box. So for me, that's always where I've been. But, you know, I'm warming up to the crossword puzzle. I think crossword puzzles are cool as well. And I do have a soft spot for jigsaw puzzles. How about you?
Yeah, I think I do love a crossword puzzle. So I'm an editor and I love words and a trivia. So that's kind of the perfect mashup. But I know I'm biased, but I'm obsessed with hidden pictures puzzles, and I have been since I was a subscriber of Highlights when I was 9 years old and had to race to the mailbox to get to those puzzles before my sisters did and circled them all before me. So hidden pictures, I haven't gotten old for me.
How long have you two been collaborating or working together?
This is our first year collaborating. We've known about Jodi Jill and National Puzzle Day as fellow puzzle enthusiasts at Highlights. But this year we collaborated with Jodi to create a packet of Highlights puzzles and Jodi's written activities, which we've distributed to schools and libraries and stores nationwide for National Puzzle Day. And it's also available for free download online at puzzledayfun.com. So this year we kind of just went bigger and with National Puzzle Day through this collaboration and this free puzzle kit.
Okay, so what's going to happen tomorrow?
So tomorrow we have a lot of puzzle parties all over the country, but we've had puzzle parties the last 2 weekends, as well as schools and classrooms have been having puzzle parties. So basically it's very simple. You get together with your friends, or if you just want to stay home, and you play puzzles, whatever your favorite puzzle is. So some people like crosswords, some people like mazes. The idea of the puzzle day is really to play your favorite puzzle, enjoy the moment, and remember just how much fun it is. If you're a kid, then you already know it's fun. But if you're an adult, how much fun it is to be a kid. Because puzzles are really special and they're part of our culture. And sometimes we overlook them because, they're so obvious to us. But it's a special day to set aside to be like, hey, let's play a puzzle. Let's enjoy a moment.
Is there going to be any interactive events going on social medias or website or anything?
I do know that there's a lot of social media going on, and they're using the hashtag Puzzle Day and Puzzle Day 2025. There are going to be several live events. I've seen several puzzlers take initiative, and they're going to be putting together jigsaw puzzles and crossword puzzles, and of course the hidden word puzzles and the hidden item puzzles. So there's a lot of stuff going on. The interesting thing is, because we have a big puzzle audience, different parts of the country are doing different things, which is why you just need to take a minute, search locally. You're going to find all sorts of stuff. There's libraries that are doing things too. So it's all about finding that perfect puzzle niche.
Are you a puzzle creator? Are you making new types of puzzles?
I definitely do. I love making puzzles. I think they're cool. But there are a lot of new puzzles out there right now that you have trouble even topping. I'm still enamored by Wordle and some of the other cool ones out there. But I think every puzzler is looking for a way to make puzzles 2.0. We love to see people excited, and making them and creating them is something that's important. I know that Allison does it for kids, and her primary audience talks back. But when it comes to adults always don't tell us what they're looking for.
The one I don't understand is Sudoku.
I'm with you. I'm not good at the number puzzles. Math is not my strong suit. I'm more of a word puzzle kind of person.
I prefer letters to numbers. Numbers just
me too.
Get me confused. Speaking of, we were talking about jigsaw puzzles. There was a site that I went to, and I can't remember it, but it was actually online jigsaw puzzle. Like you click on the piece and move it. It didn't have the same, I don't know, it didn't warrant the same feeling to me as having all of those little cardboard pieces thrown out all over the table trying to put it together. It just wasn't quite the same thing.
Different ones for different people. I mean, I played a jigsaw puzzle on my flight to New York City, and it was fun. It was a small one, but it was fun. I think that when you think about digital puzzles, you're looking at commuters, people who don't have a lot of time, but they still want to engage. And so it doesn't feel the same, but it also does serve a purpose. So it's kind of cool too.
Well, I suppose it's the comparison would be having a book on your iPad as opposed to having, the paperback in your hand.
Yeah, that's true. Something to be said for both. It's a nice tactile experience when you have the real thing.
Okay. Is Rubiks Cube a puzzle?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
there's so many Rubiks Cube competitions in the United States. Unbelievable. People are so great with those.
Not me. I can't figure it out. But they're so fun.
I remember when those came out, and that was all the rage for a while. And now it seems like they've almost been forgotten, but I guess not. I guess they're still around.
They're still popular. We actually did an article in our puzzle magazine, which is called Brainplay. We did an article about Rubiks Cube and its origins and all of the speed competitions and new various types of Rubiks Cubes. It's going strong. There's all kinds of new Rubiks Cube challenges. I
think kids are actually coming and looking at it again. And when I was at the Met, they actually have a Rubiks Cube with all the different famous paintings one on each side. And so they're doing it now for Rubik's Cubes. It's like a 2.0, these new puzzle trends that they're coming up with. So they reintroduce very cool puzzles in a different way and catch a whole new audience, which is so awesome.
Well, I think on that we're going to wrap this up. Can you give us the website one more time, please?
Sure. If you are looking for our puzzle packet that Highlights put together, it's at puzzledayfun.com. It's a free download, and all you need to do is click a simple button and play away. So happy Puzzle Day.
Okay. Well, Allison and Jodi, thank you so much for coming on the show. Best of luck with Puzzle
Thank
Day.
you.